be talking about the difference between an MLM and a brand and how to really turn any MLM. And if you don't know what an MLM product is, that's a multi-level marketing company. And a lot of people are very anti-MLM. I used to be very anti-MLM because I know that a lot of people don't know how to leverage an MLM to make money. But when you leverage an MLM correctly, it's okay to use, but there are definitely some do's and don'ts as it relates to branding and a multi-level marketing company. When selecting a multi-level marketing company, you have to make sure that their product or service aligns with your brand. For example, I'm not going to be out here selling a diet product. I'm not necessarily, because that's not something that aligns with my brand. I'm not a health coach. Now, I do partner with several multi-level marketing companies, and that's another thing, you got to know the rules, because a lot of times multi-level marketing companies don't want you to offer multiple products. But I do, but I don't lead with them. They're supplement products to my brand. So let me tell you what that looks like and what that means. I may offer a product to help you with your social media, because I help women build their businesses, and everybody can't always afford to hire a technology team. So I'm going to make sure that they have access to products and services that will help them leverage technology. I may offer products and services to help women make extra money, because again, that aligns with my brand. My brand is synonymous with helping women generate more revenue. And so I may offer a product that helps women generate more revenue strictly for the purposes of them being able to make the extra money that they need to build their business. But again, there are some do's and don'ts when it relates to creating a brand that offers a multi-level marketing company. The first don't is don't ever underestimate the fact that this is not your company. This is not your company. It's not your brand. And you don't want to ever become synonymous with this company. I know people who have such a career in Mary Kay that they're known by, quote unquote, the Mary Kay lady. Your name's not Mary Kay. Why is that dangerous? Because if anything ever happens to you, what you create within that MLM goes away. That's not legacy. Somebody type in legacy. So whatever you create with a multi-level marketing company, if they decide to close tomorrow, you get nothing. That's not legacy. They can close at any time. And in fact, I know quite a few multi-level marketing companies over the years who did great initially, and then they ran out of steam. And so the people that had invested a lot of money in them ended up coming on the losing end. Also, I've seen people get put out of multi-level marketing companies for various reasons. You can part ways with a company at any time, and at any time they can part ways with you. So a multi-level marketing company should not be your strategy, your primary strategy for building a brand. Because again, it's not your company. Now, do I think that you should have options for your clients? Absolutely. And if I can leverage somebody else's service to ship products for my clients and I can get commission and I don't have to hold inventory. See, that's another thing y'all gonna understand about business. And if you haven't shared this broadcast, make sure you share. Holding inventory and having money for inventory is overrated. Ask Nordstrom and Macy's sitting on all of that spring and summer inventory because they bought it a year ago, not knowing that COVID was going to sweep onto the scene and literally murder summer. So sitting around your house, sitting around your boutique, sitting around wherever you are, whatever your place of business is, with a whole lot of inventory, that's super overrated. I had somebody ask in a group, what would you do with the extra $10,000? And somebody was like, they had all of these plans. They named all this stuff. Nobody said hire expert help. And I said, my God, how sad. Do people really think you build multi-million-dollar businesses by yourself? You don't. Even the Bible says, don't forsake wise counsel. There's safety in a multitude of counsel. So one of the reasons when we launched this grant, we said we want to help people who are struggling because of COVID, or if you need help turning your MLM into a brand, you need to go to bit.ly/freewomenapp2020 and apply for one of the grants we got out. Don't miss the opportunity to get some help to make money within your brand. At some point, your business not making money is not acceptable. And I know that's hard to hear. I know a lot of people don't want to know that, but I read an article on MLMs a long time ago that said the vast majority of people spend more money on the product than they make money. And I'm quick to ask people who are staunch advocates of different multi-level marketing companies, how much money are you making versus how much time are you investing? Because at some point, can't you just cut out the middleman and make 100% of the profit? Let me give you an example. I had somebody tell me that their team, quote unquote, made $500,000 in sales. And my question was, how much of that did they get? So let's break it down. If they get 40% of what the team get, out of $500,000, 10% is 50,000. So if they get 40% of what the team makes, out of $500,000, they probably got anywhere from 160 to 200,000, which you may say, well, that's a lot of money. But they sold $500,000 worth of product. If I sell $500,000 worth of my stuff, I get to keep $500,000. Is this making sense to anybody? I don't need to get product from somebody and split the money with them if I'm doing all the time and all the recruiting. I want y'all to think about that. So we're talking about tonight turning a MLM into a brand versus leveraging a MLM to make money. So we got do's and don'ts. The first don't is understand it's not your company. So every dollar you spend on a t-shirt that don't have your name on it, on business cards that don't have your company name on it, on wraps for your vehicle that don't, why do you think that multi-level marketing companies don't advertise on television? Because when they recruit agents, they rely on those agents to go out and do all the recruiting for them. So you just got to be careful. Number two, you can part ways at any time. I've seen people get mad at a company and leave the company with a lot of money on the table. Think about it. You built a team of thousands of individuals, and the company gets mad at you or the company does something that's morally bankrupt, and now you want to leave. A lot of them have contracts against you leaving with agents. Sometimes you may have to leave by yourself, and you're leaving years of work on the table. They can close at any time. Yep, Nicole said there was a company that did shady business. They got into trouble and they had to change their whole structure. And once they changed their structure, people couldn't make money anymore. And so you've committed all this time and energy to building somebody else's business. Do we do that because of the safety? Are we afraid to launch our own businesses, saying, well, if I attach myself to this company and they fail, I don't have to take accountability for that? But these companies can close at any time. And again, because this is not your company, you don't want to become known as the Mary Kay lady. You don't want to become known as the tea lady. That's not your brand. I knew a woman that was in It Works, and all she did was wear green. Green is their brand color. It's not your brand color. So you have to be careful when you leverage a MLM. Here's the right way to do it. And again, if you need help turning your MLM to a brand, go to bit.ly/freewomenapp2020 and apply for one of our grants to help you revamp your business so that your business is profitable and sustainable outside of an MLM. So here are the do's. The do's is, number one, do create your own profit. The mass majority of your profit, regardless as to what kind of business you have, should come from your own hands. Anytime you got to rely on somebody else's infrastructure, I'll give you an example. Color nails. When COVID first started, I started using color nails, and I wanted to sell the nails, but it didn't seem profitable enough for me. But I also noticed that they struggled with inventory. And I thought to myself, if this was my only form of income, I'd be red hot mad that they can't keep nails in inventory. I understand it's COVID. I understand every business right now, every business has some type of limitations. But at the very same time, we're talking about livelihood. And when it's my livelihood on the line, I really don't care about your limitations. So never forget to create your own profits and to have your own profit plan outside of whatever extra earnings you may have. Number 6, make sure you set business goals for yourself and for your business. Even if you're in the MLM, that does not exonerate you from saying, this is how much money I'm going to make this month. I have a profit planning class, a halftime profit planning class coming up, I think, on July 6th. So that business owners can sit down and really do a profit forecast. Because a lot of you are not forecasting your profits. You're making money and then you celebrate what you make instead of setting a stretch goal, and setting smart goals for your profits, and then challenging yourself and your team to bring those profits home. How many of you have a profit goal for July, and not just have a profit goal, have a marketing calendar that shows you where all of those profits are going to come from? Go ahead and say me, because if you do, you're ahead of 90% of the entrepreneurs that I know. Most entrepreneurs keep their numbers in their head. Most entrepreneurs are more reactive than they are proactive. Most entrepreneurs don't set stretch goals. And most entrepreneurs don't have a plan for the plan. Meaning, if my goal is to make, let's just say $200,000 next month, am I tracking every day, every week, every month to make sure I'm on pace to make that $200,000? And if I'm not on pace on the 7th to make that $200,000, what am I going to do about it? And if I'm not on pace on the 14th to make that money, what am I going to do about it? And if I'm not on pace on the 21st to make that money, what am I going to do about it? Is this helping anybody? Y'all real quiet. If this is helping somebody, go ahead and say me. Because that's how money is made. Money is not made on a quarterly or yearly basis. Money is made day over day. And if you're not challenging yourself to go out there and say, let me make my million day by day, it's going to be very difficult to get there. Does everybody know what SMART goals are? Does anybody know what a SMART goal is? SMART goals come from corporate America. And we set SMART goals because every goal is not smart. If you say, I made $5 last month, and this month I'm going to make $5,000. It's okay, but you have to have a SMART goal. Is it specific? So you can't just say, I'm going to make $5,000. How are you going to go from making $5 last month to $5,000 this month? You've got to have a specific plan for making it happen. Is it measurable? Are you going to be able to measure step by step? A lot of times entrepreneurs say, I'm going to make more money this month. Last time I checked, more is not a measurement. Look at your neighbor and say it's not. Last time I checked, more is not a measurement. So you made $26 this month and you make $27 next month. You patting yourself on the back because you made more. That's not a measurement. That's no bueno. Did you even make enough to pay your bills? Did you even make enough to break even? Did you even make enough to cover your operating expenses? Did you even make enough to cover your inventory? So SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable. Does it make sense to try to go from making $5 in 1 month to $5,000 the next month? If you do something major, like today we hired a sales team. We have so many people who are interested in working with us. But what we've done in the past is, if you don't come to us and you're not super specific about working with us, we keep moving. We don't have time to try to convince nobody. And we should, because number one, we know we're good at what we do. And number two, we know entrepreneurs need what we have. So we were remiss in our business by not having a team that could follow up and help people make the right decisions. So we hired a professional sales team today. I can honestly say that will triple my profits. Not just on a daily basis, but on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. We hired a sales manager, an account executive, and 3 full-time sales agents. So I can easily say that by doing that one thing, I can triple or quadruple my sales. So it's attainable because I can point back to where that's coming from. The R is realistic, a real time. And is this something I'm going to do right away? And the T, what is the T? What is the T for? Time bound. That's another mistake we make when we set goals. We don't bind them by time. We say, well, I want to write a book this year. Well, when? I look at your neighbor and say, when, neighbor? I want to write a book this year. I want to be on the cover of a magazine this year. I want to make $1 million this year. Well, when? When are you going to start? What exactly are you going to do to get there? See, there's a big difference between a goal and a wish. And the question is, are you setting goals for your profits or are you wishing? And it's a big difference. It is a big difference. Are you setting goals or are you wishing? And I know it's hard to wrap your mind around that, but a business without goals is like a ship without a destination. So if you're not setting profit goals, sales goals, marketing goals, team goals, leadership goals, personal goals, what are you doing in your business? And unfortunately, the mass majority of entrepreneurs don't believe they need help to do that. Forbes magazine said that while females are the fastest growing population of entrepreneurs, the mass majority of them fail to scale their businesses beyond $50,000 a year. Do you know why? They fail to scale their businesses because women don't think linear. We are more emoticons. We're more emotional, right? Men think numbers and facts. Women have instinct and what our gut tells us. And so a man is going to write down numbers and hold himself accountable to numbers quicker than we are. So more often than not, most business owners need somebody, specifically a profit coach, to hold their feet to the fire to make sure they're holding themselves accountable for making money. Look, you can help the world, and I want you to, but I want you to help your family first. Amen. I want you to help yourself. I want you to be able to retire when you get tired of working. I want you to be able to send your kids to college and pay their tuition so they're not leaving college stressed. I told somebody earlier, we were talking about something, and I said, I'm 49. I said, I'm too old to negotiate anything. I want what I want. And when do you get to that point where you want what you want? You want a Bentley, girl, go get you one. Why don't you have it? You want a bigger house, go get it. Why don't you have it? And then I read a quote the other day that said, if you want something, go get it. If you want it faster, go with a coach. And it's true, but it's got to be the right coach. But you can't keep having businesses and not having business goals. You also got to make sure you have the correct paperwork for your business. Look at your neighbor and say paperwork. They are killing us softly because we don't have our business papers in order. And that's all business credit is. Business credit is, do you have your business papers in order? And there are some things that we don't have in order that immediately disqualify us from opportunities, from revenue, from contracts, from grants, from getting startup capital. So the companies can make the money available. But if we don't have the correct paperwork, even if you have an MLM, just because you're selling paparazzi jewelry doesn't mean you don't need a business license or a business phone number or a website. There's a litany of things that you need to have in your business, regardless as to how that money is coming in for you. Gotta have the right paperwork. You've got to have a mission. We've got to stop creating businesses just because. We've got to create businesses that not only make us money, but that make the world a better place. My chief goal is to help women create revenue that will change their lives. I want to create as many seven-figure earners as humanly possible in my lifetime. I want women who are hungry. I want women who believe in themselves. Intellect is not on the list of attributes of millionaires. Hunger is. Faith is. So you have to have a mission, and your mission has to align with your money. And that's what the law of compensation is in and of itself, is that the more people you serve, the more money you make. You want to make $1 million? Serve 1,000 people $1,000 product. That's $1 million. Serve 100 people a $10,000 product. That's $1 million. Serve 10 people a $100,000 product. That's $1 million. Serve 20,000 people a $50 product. That's $1 million. Sell 100,000 people a $10 product. That's $1 million. I don't care how you add it up, but you've got to have a mission, and that mission has to burn so bright in you that it gets you up when you're tired. It makes you work when you're sick. You have to have your own motivation. Is not something a coach can give you. I can give you strategy. I can give you accountability. I can't give you work ethic, and I can't give you motivation. And if you come over here working harder for your job than you work for your business, then what you're going to get is a paycheck and not dividends and profits. So I say all of that to say MLMs are not bad when kept in their place. And their place is behind your brand, behind your mission. Doesn't mean you're hiding it from people. It just means it's not your primary offer. It's not your bread and butter. It might be a pat of butter. When people talk about multiple streams of income, MLMs fall into that category. But MLMs are just like jobs. You've got to make sure that you don't get so caught up running somebody else's business that you forget to run your own. You've got to make sure that you don't get so caught up getting a percentage of the profits that you forget that 100% is still available. So guys, I'm going to get out of here. Don't forget, tonight at 9 p.m. in about 18 minutes, we kick off Black Girl Coin, a serious conversation about Black women and their money. Adults only. Real women only. Don't come in there if you ain't got your whole armor on, because we're going to have some real conversation. It's going to be enlightening. It's going to be, some of it's going to be hard to hear. But I think that after this 7 days of conversation, we're all going to leave with more grace for our sisters in business and more grace for our sisters, period. More respect for our own revenue and our own gifts and talents. And more importantly, I think after this 6 days, we're going to really be prepared to demand our worth. First, by recognizing the worth in our sisters. And secondly, by recognizing the worth in ourselves. And last but not least, making sure that the world stops cheating us for who we are. We show up and pull up in the corporate sector, in the nonprofit sector, all over the place. So Black Girl Coin is all about, where is my money now that I've shown up? Where is my revenue Why is it so hard for me to make, hey, LaShonda, what Becky makes and what Bob makes? Stop lying to us about how we spend our money, because a lot of it and the misappropriation of funds that we so purportedly engage in. And the truth of the matter is, you're not paying me what you're paying Bob and Becky. So, yes, I may buy weave, and yes, that may be 10% of my revenue. But the reason you can take trips to Aspen is because you make double what I make. And the reason that this hair or these nails or these clothes seem such a grandeur expense is because you not paying me what I'm worth in the first place. And so we're going to have career experts on hand this week to talk about how do you overcome that? How do you negotiate your pay without being known as an angry Black woman? It's a lot. It's a big bag of money waiting on us to claim it. So www.blackgirlcoin.com. Make sure you register so you're up to date on all the speakers. You get the replays the next day, and you can really come out in the fight for your life, because fighting for not just the money, but the sense of worth, the sense of value, our birthright, what God put us here to reap, and to finally be able to look to the earth and look to the soil and have it harvest up everything we've put into it. And a lot of us have sown a lot. I know I had to sow way more for my money than the average Joe. So if you haven't already applied for the grant, guys, we're closing out soon. bit.ly/freewomenapp2020. We have group offline interviews this weekend to make sure we get our last cast of people in. There's so much money. There's so much opportunity. I can't wait to take my next round of millionaires on this journey to really getting not only what you need and want, but what you so richly deserve. So I'm going to take about a 15-minute break, guys. We'll be back at about 9 o'clock for a Black Girl Coin. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you text some folks. Make sure you come ready to have, this is not a TV show, it's a dialogue. So make sure you come prepared to answer in the chat. Make sure you come prepared to ask questions. Make sure you come prepared with your opinions. We're going to agree to disagree. Everybody's not going to walk away on the same page. That's not what makes us great. Everybody's different opinions is what makes us great. So I'll see you guys at 9 o'clock. Love you much.